it through 3 hours of the regular show on terrestrial radio, and you wanted a little bit more, so that's why you found the Gun Talk After Show podcast, where we saved all the best things that we can't say on regular radio. Now here's Tom, Michelle, and Jim for the Gun Talk After Show.
It's the After Show, and we have gathered to do this silliness all over again. Jim Kinsey's over there in the corner, where it's a good place for you to be, sir.
I found my calling.
And Michelle is, of course, the one who puts him and keeps him over there. Well done, Michelle Cleveland.
Thank you. How are you, Tom?
I am well. Did you guys have a good Thanksgiving?
Awesome.
What'd you do?
Ate.
And then repeat, rinse, and repeat, right?
That's right. No, it was some good time spent with some family. Unfortunately, not everyone could, be around at the same time, but it's all good. My philosophy is if you spend time with the people around the table instead of worrying about what's on the table, it's always going to be better.
Yeah, no kidding. Just, it's one of the things we do. Is my lovely wife was saying, yes, it's just, I get up early in the morning, I start cooking, and I cook for like 5 or 6 hours, and we sit down and we eat for 20 minutes, and then we get up, and it's kind of like, wow, that was a lot of work for a little bit short meal.
That's right.
I'm thinking maybe takeout pizza. Let's go with that.
There you go.
Yeah, there's lots of buffet people. They enjoy that. Yeah.
Jimmy. Right. Then you don't have to do all that work
Jimmy
and
buffet.
clean up.
That's right.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
How about you, Jim? What'd you do? Well, you went to a ball game,
I went to a ball game with the other engineer, Tom, and some other guys, and he and I played babysitter to a bunch of drunk buddies. But no trouble. Everybody behaved themselves.
And your Lions won.
My personal Detroit Lions won.
That's right.
Actually, Tom's a bigger fan than I am, but yes, we won.
Excellent.
But I spent my Saturday, because of my wife's schedule, etc. Saturday was really our Thanksgiving here. And we had a no cell phone Saturday, and it was awesome. It was great.
Yeah.
I mean, put your phones away, and it's there if there's an emergency, but it's off, and we just watched.
Excellent.
Yeah, it was good. We got to do that every once in a while.
Yeah. So if you did so well with the Lions, what happened with Michigan?
Okay, we got a call on line 1. Frank in Talkeetna.
Oh, go Bucks.
Okay, there we go.
God.
Hey, Frank, why don't you bail us out here? I think we got the Ohio and Michigan contingent going at each other.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Frank, how you doing?
There you go. Happy Thanksgiving to all. I probably won't be with you again until after Christmas, so a Merry Christmas, and most importantly, a Happy Hanukkah.
There you go.
Thank you.
We like all of that. Okay, so what's on your mind here?
Well, I don't want to do anything radical now that we have control of the House and the Senate. I would like, if I might meekly put forward the suggestion that we just repeal the 1968 Gun Control Act. That's all.
Oh, man, you are a man after my own heart. Get rid of GCA 68 altogether. I am there.
Good. Then, number 2 is we take Chucky Schumer, we tar, we feather him, and send him to Canada or England or Australia.
The problem is nobody's going to want it. Nobody will take it.
Yeah, what did Canada ever do to us? They don't deserve
Exactly. Well, I'll settle for tar feathering and shove him into the Atlantic.
That's right, in a leaky rowboat.
There you go.
Listen, we all make wonderful suggestions, I think. To whom do we email these so that President Trump will actually be apprised of our genius?
That's right. He should be have the experience of enjoying our intelligence, don't you think?
I think so. I mean, us talking to each other is definitely preaching to the choir.
Amen.
Well, there are several people who are identified as being on the committee or the task force, whatever it is. Obviously, Don Jr., Chris Cox from the NRA's ILA is on there, so funneling things through the NRA. I know that there are a number of congressmen who have been named who are on there. Steve Scalise from Louisiana is on the committee. And so I would think that funneling the information that way is probably going to be one of the best ways to go. Because as of right now, I'm not sure that there's any direct way that citizens can contact the Trump transition team directly.
Yeah, I don't know the Trump, but I know that Obama's got the thing at the White House. I just sent you a link on that, Tom.
Yeah, that's what we want to do. So send a note to the Trump, to the Obama White House. of what we want Trump to do. Actually, that's so twisted. I like it.
Yeah.
It just might work.
Yeah. I think what I was getting at was hopefully Trump will maintain something along those lines and have some open communication.
Dear President Obama, could you please help Mr. Trump with this?
Awesome.
Oh, my gosh. Are you sure you were babysitting those guys, or are you not just kind of helping them out with that whole celebratory thing?
Okay, on line 4, we've...
And thank you, Frank. I would appreciate that. Line 4 in Baton Rouge. Mitt Romney, no fan?
I don't think too much of him. By the way, if I might interject this, I was multitasking during the show, and since y'all going to talk football, our Saints went through the L.A. Rams like they weren't even there, 49-21.
Really? Drew Brees is my hero. I just got to tell you, I think he is both one of the best quarterbacks in the history of the game, but also one of the classiest people ever.
Oh, you'll be getting emails now.
There you go.
A great individual. We're very fortunate to have him here in Louisiana.
And oh, by the way, and also we now have Coach O, as long as we're on the subject.
Oh, absolutely. Well, being over here in Baton Rouge, that's all we've seen on the news. They could have started a war halfway around the world. We wouldn't know about it here.
For those who don't know, Coach Ogeron, now named the coach of LSU, we actually have no idea what he's saying, but we like the guy anyway.
Well, he's your neighbor over there in Mandeville.
I know.
So...
He lives in the same neighborhood, pretty close to us anyway. So, yeah, we're big Coach O fans. I think that's great. So here we go. All right, so what is on your mind? I understand you're not a fan of Mr. Romney.
No, I agree with you on Romney, but the other person in line for Secretary of State is Rudy Giuliani, and he's no friend of the gun owners. So
thank you for saying that. I agree completely. I am not a Rudy fan. I am just not. Part of it, frankly, is I don't think anybody who comes out of New York is qualified, because they don't have any background with firearms. They don't have any background with the lawful use of guns. They don't understand those of us who carry guns or use guns or have guns for self-defense. They just don't have, in Rudy Giuliani's world, you get to have a gun for self-defense only if you're one of about a dozen people who could spend $1 million on your campaign. And I'm sorry, but that's just the way it is.
Yep.
I'm with you. No Romney, no Rudy, not a fan, neither one. If they want to advise, fine, but I would ignore them.
Rand Paul.
Maybe.
I hope so.
Could be. Now, if you want to see the left absolutely have their heads explode, Rand Paul as Secretary of State, oh my heavens.
And Gowdy as Attorney General. I was just going to say
Gowdy would be, yeah.
What a tag team.
Whatever it took to get Gowdy in as Attorney General, I am there. If we need to go, to D.C. and, do something, let's carry him around, whatever. Because, just Trey Gowdy as Attorney General, there would be people running from public service to try to get out of the way and trying to find a country that does not have extradition with the U.S. Holy cow.
Yeah, and the downside would be...
I'll get back to you on that. I'm not seeing it right now. I really am not. And people say, in fact, I just saw a piece this morning in the local paper. I'm out in Albuquerque right now, and they're saying, the Trump administration just needs to moderate its choices for the cabinet, because, we all should be working together here. And I say, no, you lost. When Obama took over, there was no moderation. It was the left way all the way. There was globalization. The U.S. is wrong. We're embarrassed to be from the U.S., and we're going to downplay the U.S. and make us just another player in the world. And there was no moderation at all. And so to that I say, no. We're going to take it back, and we're going to do it so fast, you will wonder what happened. We're going to go through D.C. like Sherman went through Atlanta.
Ooh.
I don't really have any strong feelings about it, though.
I'm not thinking so.
Minus the humidity.
Yeah, no. D.C.'s got the humidity. I used to work there. I know. Yeah, I put in my 3 years there. It's like a sentence, Yeah, I served 3 years in D.C. Oh, I could not wait to get out of that place. God.
You got to have a parole officer to leave.
Really? Well, I said, where are you going from there? Well, I went from there to Anchorage, Alaska, because it was as far as I could go. Oh, gosh. Look, D.C. is great, but what I found was that it is a company town. It has some of the best museums. The Smithsonian is fabulous, but it's a company town, and you rarely hear people anywhere saying, what can we do for the people? It's, what are we doing, not even for my agency, but for my department against everybody else inside of my agency. It's a snake pit. And draining the swamp is just the start, one could hope.
So, Tom's inquiring minds want to know.
Just?
When are you throwing your hat in to become head of ATF or ATFE?
Ooh.
Or I guess BATFE.
BATFE. That's right. I like that line that says, alcohol, tobacco, and firearms should be a convenience store, not a government agency.
Really, you can combine alcohol, tobacco, firearms. Those I understand. When you put explosives in the mix, it's just a bad combo.
No. You just haven't been to the right party yet.
You guys are crazy. I like you guys.
BSU, blowing stuff up, or something like that.
Stuff, yeah.
Stuff, that's what it was.
Sure.
Let's see, me as head of ATF. Well, I probably wouldn't have the job long, but it would be long enough.
Well,
what would you do? What the first thing you would do, ambassador? Now, wouldn't be an ambassador.
First thing I would do.
Director.
Seriously?
Director Gresham, yeah.
All right, seriously. First thing I'd do is I'd call all the department heads in and say, here's the deal. Our job is to help promote the safe and legal ownership of guns in America. We're not here to make it harder for anybody. So toward that end of helping to promote the safe and lawful use and ownership of guns in America, we're going to get off the backs of gun stores. All these audits where you're putting people through all of this, that's gone. That's not happening. We're going to, once we find, yes, there are occasionally bad ones, but I don't think there's very many of them out there. And I would put everybody at ATF on a track of how do we help people be educated. You could have ATF actually be running good education programs for firearms. Hey, how about if you had ATF put firearms education programs in all the schools in America, a la Eddie Eagle?
Yeah.
Oh, now we're talking. I mean, it would only take us about an hour to sit down and come up with a list that would keep them busy for 4 years.
Yeah, it makes too much sense. You're right. You wouldn't have the job long.
Yeah, that's right. I'd be so out of there. Hey, from there, where I know how to get out of there. You just go straight to Anchorage, Alaska.
This is as far as you can go.
That's right. That's right. Without a passport, as they say.
So, Jim, you were taking notes. Are you sending that to the link at the White House?
Yes, I am.
Great.
Yes.
Okay.
Dear current president.
Dear what's his name? Yeah. I'm sorry. He's not there right now. He's in Lima, Peru, completing his victory lap.
Yeah, well, on the bright side, it keeps him off the golf course.
Yeah, which makes it safer for some people out there. It'd be some interesting things you could do. You could say, okay, I think ATF could take a lead role in doing the pushback on the gun control effort from these people who are pushing these nutty ideas like smart guns. And just say, okay, new rule from ATF is before smart guns can be required anywhere, all of the police departments and law enforcement agencies of that jurisdiction must use nothing but smart guns for 2 years as a test bed. Oh, California. That means all the cops for the state and the cities in California would have to use smart guns before you could require them for your citizens. Oh, that makes people sing a different tune.
But these things don't work. They look good on paper.
Well, but I need them to work because my life. Oh wait, yes, the same thing as the other people. Yes, okay, yeah, there you go. Hey, let's take a quick break here and come back. We can flesh this out and flog something else. Be right back.
Fans of Slip 2000 EWL gun lubricant will want to try EWL 30 this summer. The thicker EWL 30 sits up, migrates less, stays wetter longer, and will not dry out. Perfect for long-term storage. It also holds up better in hotter conditions while still providing the excellent high round count performance you have come to expect from the original EWL. Slip 2000. We're all about gun care. Learn more at slip2000.com.
The Ruger American Rifle is a 100% American-made firearm that offers outstanding performance at a great price. Available in standard size and compact models, it features power bedding integral bedding blocks, a Ruger Marksman adjustable trigger, a flush-fit 4-round rotary magazine, and a 3-lug bolt with 70-degree throw. Compact models feature a shorter length of pull and a shorter barrel for a reduction in overall length of more than 5 inches. The Ruger American Rifle, another rugged, reliable firearm from Ruger.
All right, we're back and having a ball during the break, of course. So, Michelle, we're talking about lever-action rifles for pistol cartridges, and you go, yeah, where's my 327, right?
That's right. I know, it's very redundant. I seem to be a repeat offender of the caliber, but gosh, what a great rifle that would be.
I actually had a company interested in that. We were talking to them about it. The problem is, it's like, okay, how many are they going to sell? And that's because that's all they're going to look at,
Mm-hmm.
Numbers.
And they're looking at it and saying, if we sold 1,000 of them, we'd be lucky. And they're probably right. I mean, honestly, because you say, okay, we're already making it for the 45 and the 44 and the 357, and now the 327, and people are going to look at that and say, what's a squirrel gun?
Would it be that big of a deal to...
Just to take 3 off? And 327, 357?
No, just to supply shims. Just supply shims at the gym. I mean, to rechamber to 327 doesn't seem to be of course I'm speaking because I've never built a gun, but...
It's just the little things like, does it feed?
Seating.
Does you obviously need new barrels. You have to have new barrels with 32 caliber holes in them,
Mm-hmm.
Unless you just want to have the accuracy kind of go out the window.
A little slop never hurt anybody.
Yeah. They've got to feed correctly. You've got the lifters. You got other, just all kind of stuff that's involved in there. So I have found that I am really good at what I call the hand waving, where I go, oh yeah, you guys can do that. I wave the hand. Yeah, you can just take care of that. And they're looking at me like, you have no idea what you're asking us to do.
It's like the 5 favorite words. All you got to do is.
Yeah, right. Or the 3 most expensive words.
Might as well.
So, look, as long as you guys got the car, the engine opened up in there, might as well. Okay.
See,
sure.
it just seems to me that would be a neat caliber even on the cowboy shooting side of things.
I think so.
Kids and women.
And the 32 H&R is, an older caliber. There actually was a 32 way back in the old days, because it could be a cowboy action round, I guess.
Is there any reason that wouldn't be good for deer or elk?
No. Well, elk, no. Wouldn't be enough for elk.
But for whitetail?
Deer would be good.
It'd be fine for deer. It'd be a good 100-yard round for deer, which is, in most cases, is plenty. That's all you need anyway.
Right.
But we actually talked to somebody about doing a run of those for the next Gun Talk gun.
Mm.
We just couldn't quite pull all the pieces together. And it may not be completely dead. You never know, because we got to come up with something for the next one.
Well, what part do you need? We got sources.
And you have gunsmiths, don't you?
Yeah, see, the problem is it's not a rifle company. It's this guy who owns a water balloon company, and he's like, I can probably do that for you, Tom. So we're having
confidence is not high, as they say.
Well, you never know. We'll see.
You never know. We'll see. One could hope.
That's right.
As long as the 44 carbine used market stays strong. Sereno got 2 of them.
Wow, can you believe that?
No, I
He
didn't.
got 2 of my favorite gun in the world.
Yeah, Chris Sereno just got 2 of those semi-auto Ruger 44s.
No kidding. Was he in somebody's will? What happened?
He said he's been shopping for years, and he finally got a winning bid on, was it Gun Broker or one of those places?
No kidding.
And then, like, within 30 minutes, it was his brother or brother-in-law comes in, walks in the door, says, "Hey, I found one of those," and he's got it in his hand.
Score!
You owe me $300.
Yeah, $300 would be a steal.
Yeah,
what are those going for?
It would. Oh, they got to be going for 5 at least.
Yeah.
Is he going to leg holster those?
Yeah, really. But, we were talking, the 45 Colt is a good round you could use for hunting in Ohio. And they've got that, Hugh Birdie has the, basically the replica of the Colt Lightning, which is very cool. It's a pump action 45, and it's good looking. It's got color case hardened action. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, you sent us the link, and during the show, of course, I was ignoring everything you said, and I was going to various websites and that was one of them. And as Michelle put it, that's a prettier bird. That's a prettier bird. I can't even say it.
It's a birdie.
Birdie. Purdy or birdie. Yeah.
Say that 1,000 times.
No, thank you. I'll pass on that one.
I'll get back to you.
Yeah, really. So, that's a pretty sweet rig. Now, you guys you said like for the last 3 years, you can use straight wall pistol cartridges and rifles in Ohio for hunting.
Yeah, it's changed the hunting world here, honestly.
Now, Michelle, can they use a 45-70?
Yep.
Because there are some revolvers chambered for the 45-70.
Whew, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to do that, but...
But yeah, Marlins and Henry, the Golden Boys, and those are all hot popular guns right now. So the even in the 357-38 obviously you can interchange those, but the 44 mag, the 444, the 45-70, they're all great cartridges. So
well, I'll tell you, 45-70 or 444, especially if you load it up with that Hornady Lever Evolution ammo, the pointed bullets, 250 to 300 yards. Absolutely good deer hunting cartridge for that.
Well, in our area, if you have 45-70 ammo, you have liquid gold.
Is that right?
Oh, yeah.
Whoa, really?
People are going store to store to store to store trying to find it.
That's it. So what you're saying is we could set up a smuggling ring for bringing 130-year-old ammo into Ohio for deer hunters.
Well, I don't know if I'm saying that.
But she's not saying it.
She's not on the record anyway. No.
But you can set up your tent and sell fireworks and ammo if you want to, Tom. You're head of the ATF now. It's all good.
That's true. It's one of my first official acts.
You had said 45-70 in a lever action with pointed bullets. Those are special tip bullets then? So they don't have
they have. They're a soft plastic point that will not cause detonation.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's called Lever Evolution, and it's just a game changer for long-range shooting, or I think long-range, beyond 200 yards with these big cartridges where you used to have this big flat bullet, and now you've got a pointed bullet, and it really adds 50 to 100 yards to it.
So you don't like the chain reaction in the tube, huh? Not a big
Generally not if I'm within about a quarter mile. No. You do what you want to do on your own time, but not when I'm there.
Ugh.
Yeah, ugly. So I thought the conversation with Chris was interesting about the first-person offender and his idea of, watching the shows is actually training. He's talked about that a lot of. You're actually training when you're sitting and thinking about scenarios and working your way through them because you're putting all that stuff, you're putting the good stuff into your head, and you can draw from that quickly when you need it.
Well, that's practically the purpose, isn't it? I mean, the subconscious is going to take over and rule. So if you run those scenarios, those what ifs and I cans over and over and over again, that's what's going to happen. If you've told yourself that's what's going to happen.
Kind of, it's the essence of training. People they'll say, well, you don't know what you're going to do in an emergency. And you go, well, actually, if you don't have any training, you're right. But if you do have training, you will react the way you were trained. You will just go right to it.
He said you don't even think. It's not a conscious decision.
And to go backwards into the conversation earlier on the radio, too, I guess that's the part that floors me with the military members not being able to defend themselves. Not to get into a whole different issue, but they're the best trained forces we have out there. They're not allowed to engage in shooting unless being shot at. I think they're pretty well trained to be able to handle a self-defense situation.
I would think.
Well, I mean, to be fair, a lot of folks in the military are just trained to shoot rifles. They don't get any training in self-defense at all. But having said that, if you have your concealed carry permit, and if you're in a state where training's required, you've been through whatever that requirement is, why should you have less ability on your base to protect yourself than you have off the base?
Well, and I think they should still go through the CCW requirement, not just because you're a military member should you not have to have training.
Agree.
But why can't they have a CCW card or a CPL or whatever it is in your state? Why can't they conceal a weapon?
And
they are working on that, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. They're working on it, and I think it probably will happen under Trump. I think that's, unfortunately, that's one of those things that as commander-in-chief, he could do just about anything he wants to do on that one. He's almost as good as I can do with ATF.
The two of you together. Wow.
Yeah. Awesome.
For all 45
again for the
days
first
in
time.
Office,
yeah.
I'm going to tweet that out.
Thanks a lot. Let's start a rumor. Let's set up a fake news site on it and go that way.
Let's call it CNN.
Well, that's already taken. I'm sorry. There's already a fake news site. There's already a fake news site like that.
Yeah.
Copywriting, plagiarism. What is that?
It's just it's such a sad thing. Particularly, I mean, my training is all in journalism, and it's just so sad for me to see them completely turn their back on everything that involves journalism.
You know what the funny thing is? Very ironic. The National Enquirer's had several scoops in the past couple of years that have turned out to be accurate when the big news sources, covered it and were totally inaccurate. Well, it's kind of funny that the CNNs have turned around and become the sensationalized, rag mags.
Well, there's the blind hog school of journalism where even a blind hog finds an acre now and then. So
I just think it's ironic.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. So I'm in the process. Just talked to my buddy Brian Belinsky last week, and he's got 5. Not sure if I'm going to sell all of them. He's got 4 of my shotguns we're going to sell up there through his place. So we're moving some guns. That Model 21 Winchester's a beautiful thing. They'll all be listed before too long. But I'm going to go through some of my guns and start selling some so that I can buy others. I'm doing a switch over, I guess, at this point. And so
I know somebody who sells firearms.
Do you?
I do.
Oh, okay.
You probably have sources close to you as well.
So you're saying you need inventory? Is that what we're saying here?
No, I have inventory to rid of.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so whatever you're shopping for.
Would you do a swap for 4570 ammo?
I'm all out. Next.
No. I've got 4570 ammo.
Oh.
So if you...
Not if it's 100 years old.
Oh, now you're going to be picky. Sure.
I could see
First
right
she says she wants any ammo that she can get, and now it's, I don't want any of that old corroded stuff you got. Jeez.
Oh, my.
So, Jim, why did you buy a 4570? Well, Gresham gave me a great deal on a bunch of ammo.
That's right.
I had to have something to put it in.
You laugh. I know people
Don't worry.
who have fallen into a deal on ammo. Don't you, Michelle?
Oh, yes.
Did not have a gun for it?
That's right.
Absolutely. So, okay, I've got all this ammo now. I think I'll go buy a gun that will actually shoot it. Sure.
Right. I love this caliber.
What caliber is it? I'm not real sure, but I got a lot of the ammo for it.
Yeah. Price was right.
It's hard.
The guy that called the show said, I bought a rifle. I don't know what caliber it is.
7mm.
Can you tell me what it is? Yeah, hold it up to the phone.
Boy, that'd be a problem, too, if you put a cartridge that actually fit in there, but it was the wrong cartridge.
Yeah. Well, that happens.
No.
It does. That's why you really do need to go to a gunsmith, and they'll make a chamber cast, and they'll come back and say, okay, this is exactly what it is. And they may, in that case, if it's a custom rifle, it sounds like it probably was, they may come back and say, okay, it's a 7x57, but note that this has a short throat in this, so you're going to have to be careful about the load you use. Which you get into when people are chambering a rifle, they can have a longer or shorter throat on some of these, so you never know quite what you're getting.
But if you had a Wildcat, you'd want to know about it.
Yes. And somebody could be, it's a 7x57 actually improved. Go, what? Yeah, okay, well, you don't know until you know, and I don't know what's going to cost, but probably, somewhere in the neighborhood of $50, $50 to $100. Well, I tell you what, I'm going to go through and make a list. I'm probably going to call our good buddy Johnny over at Dury's Guns, because, worked with him before, so here's some more. But if somebody really, really wants a nice left-handed 4.58 Win Mag rifle, boy, do I have the prettiest one you've ever seen.
If you could come up with 2, I'll call Sereno for you. Find another one somewhere.
Yeah, that's what everybody needs, a left-handed 3.58.
Chris, I know you don't need this, but there's 2 of them.
But there's 2 of them. It's a package deal, man. Got to do this. Oh, well, I am off to tour the West this week, enjoy the mountains and some of the snow. So I'll be back home in sunny, or at least warmer Louisiana in about a week.
Awesome. Travel safely, buddy.
Will do. You guys be good.
All right, take care.
Well, that wraps up another Gun Talk After Show. But if you want even more gun-related stuff, don't forget to check out Gun Dealio. It's the app for Apple and Android phones that connects you to all the Gun Talk shows, plus even more. And we'll catch you next time for the Gun Talk After Show.